Hello, everybody. Welcome to Discussions or Discussiomon or some random title that I have down there. This is a series where Van, whose
Yep.
Twitch link will be down in the description, but my good buddy here, who you've seen more than likely on my channel multiple times, are going to be discussing Digimon in a more open, free-form way. No scripts, no just an overarching plan discussion, and that's it.
Yep. We are definitely just going to be trying to have an topic, and then that's pretty much where we're going.
I think the hardest thing will be trying to make it so that we're not having 4-hour long episodes of this. We're going to be getting into the swing of it all. So give us a little bit of time. I'm sorry, but yeah. So today's episode, Van, you wanna ring it in?
Yeah, today's episode we are talking about some scenes in Digimon that either got us really into the series or scenes that just really moved us within Digimon.
Yep. So we've both picked two scenes, one from childhood and one from not childhood. My second scene is definitely much more recent, but very important nonetheless. So without further ado, we're going to do the first scene. We're going to play a scene, we're going to talk about it, maybe give some context. We might talk a little bit over the scene, but that's just because I like to talk.
I like to talk.
That's the reason we're doing this. All right, so let's get this playing.
Have you had enough, or do you want some more?
So this is
Actually, I was about to ask you the same question.
This is probably one of the most emotional scenes of my childhood.
Yeah, this one. When I was a kid, this one tied with me with Leomon. But as an adult, knowing what happens to Leomon every time, it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, we've seen Leomon so many times that it's like, okay. Wizardmon, though.
Next time.
That's just a one-time thing.
My way.
Yeah.
It's...
Wizardmon, you're gonna be all right. Please don't.
I don't even know if Wizardmon came back.
Are you all right, Gatomon?
You saved me. I'm sorry.
About
This
what?
scene is...
Sorry I got you involved.
This scene is so
Don't
pretty.
be sorry.
It got the
I
single
don't have
tear.
any regrets. If I hadn't met you, my life would have had no meaning. I'm glad that
There's
you
so
and I
much
were
context to this
friends.
scene that you don't get just from us
That's
sitting here
forever.
watching this.
Thank you
But
for
we would have to do a
everything,
whole series
Gatomon.
watch through to really understand this. So in the English dub, by the way, that's where the scene ends. The Japanese dub adds, Kari crying over Wizardmon.
Doing the whole scream, the anime scream.
Because for context, and before we go on to the next scene, for context, so, oops, I hid you instead of the browser. Oops. There we go. For context, so Gatomon and Wizardmon were working with Myotismon, who is like the big bad of the second part of Digimon Adventure 1, and
My favorite arc.
oh, it's such a great arc. But again, the Dark Masters was so good. But so Wizardmon and Gatomon were like best friends, and Wizardmon knew from the get-go that Gatomon was the partner of the Ace Digidestined, and just didn't want to say anything. And Gatomon was so loyal to Myotismon to a fault, and then finally, realizes that she's Kari's partner and starts swapping sides and starts being a better person. And Wizardmon literally sacrifices himself to save Kari, Gatomon's tamer.
Because, Wizardmon didn't want Gatomon to be sad. And that's kind of... That was one of the first times we'd ever, as a kid, could ever really seen a bad guy truly switching sides. I mean, we had Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but
It was still a jerk.
it's also like, we watched Dragon Ball Z as kids, and it's clearly meant for teenagers and such. Digimon was made at least in America, was made for kids. Like, I was watching that scene, and I was about 6 years old, almost 7, because that came out in like February of 2000, and
Yeah.
like, I was like just under 7 years old watching that, and that is, Digimon was TV year 7, so that was for 7-year-old. So I was a little bit
Yeah.
I was a little bit young, but close enough. And like that scene to me made me understand that you can be a kids show, but deal with heavy topics. You don't have to be bright and cheery 24/7 to be a kids show. And as a kid, like, that was very nice to know that shows aren't afraid to like, again, like, I was a kid, so I didn't think about it too deep, but I, like, looking back, it was definitely nice watching that in between shows where, like, the good guys always win. There's no such thing as a Pyrrhic victory. Sometimes the
Yeah.
bad guys get that upper hand, and it motivates so much more. And all of Digimon has so many scenes like that. You have scenes where the children are truly not the best people. You see scenes where, the children are they're punching well above their weight in maturity, and
Yeah.
God, I love Digimon so much.
Digimon often, like, at least in the early seasons, often had so much like interpersonal conflict that, like, they made us think that we weren't gonna have the group stay together.
Oh, it's
Because
so true.
how much some of them just hated each other.
It's so true. Like, especially any interactions between Matt and Ty, so often they would come to blows, or like someone would have to
They
step in
would
and be
punch
like,
each
"All
other. Yeah.
right, all right, calm down." And yet, like, they were two sides of the same coin, because they were older siblings. They were, they were very overprotective of their younger
Mhm.
siblings, but you had, Ty, who was overprotective but wanted Kari to experience the world, and you had Matt, who was overly protective and wanted to shield TK from the pain. And it was these two different sides of things that was just, it was handled so well.
It really was. And we got to see, the whole reason Matt was more overprotective. Like, because, Ty got to see Kari all the time. They lived together. TK and Matt, they lived in different households. So it's like
Mhm.
Matt was like straight up just like, I don't get to protect him normally. So now I'm going to be his shield.
You know what's funny? Something I realized. I said the other day on stream, and I say the other day. I don't know when this is being uploaded. For context, we're recording this on January 1st, so Happy New Year's, everybody! Can't wait to
Happy New
upload
Year's.
this in like February. But yeah, like, I on the stream the other day, I was talking about how, like, Ty's mom is a single mother, and I was just thinking about the fact that in Digimon the movie, I don't know if it's canon to the Japanese one or not, they actually mention Ty and Kari's father, because they talk about not messing with, like, they telling Ty not to mess with his father's stuff.
I feel like they probably mentioned that in the Japanese because he was messing with some adult stuff, and I don't think it was his mom's.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was mostly messing around with the computer, and it's like, I don't think we ever see their father ever.
No, their dad doesn't show up at all, I don't think. Well, no, wait, maybe because remember when they were fighting Venom Myotismon, I don't remember if he showed up or not, but I believe
I don't think
their
he
parents
does.
because I know the rest of their parents show up, like even TK and Matt's dad, I think, shows up.
Yeah, everyone's parents shows up. Oh, hold on. So I'm looking this up.
I can't even remember if we know what Ty's
So
Ty and
let's
Kari's
see.
dad looks like. Oh, we do know what he looks like.
We do? There's a picture
Yeah.
of him?
Apparently, he shows up. He doesn't show up in the original. He shows up in Adventure ZR2.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Susumu Kamiya.
Yeah. Although the wiki says he shows up in Adventure 1 occasion.
Yeah, because I literally just looked it up, and one of the first things that pops up, hold on. One of the
Shows
first
up
things
during
that
the
pops up.
Digivice.
As far as I know, in the English version of Digimon Adventure and O2, he just doesn't exist. As for Japan, I've only seen the movies, but I know he shows up possibly drunk before Agumon takes Hikari on a joyride. Is there any further information ever, or was he just not about? And then he was there with their mom during Vamdemon or Myotismon Fuji TV takeover with Mimi, Mimi's parents, and Sora, which means he works in Odaiba.
Yeah, because I just found a picture of him with their mom, and they look like they're pretty close. So
Yeah, apparently. It's interesting. I don't have any memory of ever seeing him. But like I know on stream the other day I mentioned him or their mom being single mom, and honestly I want to apologize for messing that up.
I think it's just because he was always at work, so it's like he never was home.
Yeah, which does really track with like
Japanese culture.
Yeah, Japanese culture, because like Japanese culture, I have a Japanese work culture or work ethic where I'm just like, if I'm not working, do I exist? Do I exist if I haven't done 100 hours of work in 3 days?
Yeah, I used to be like that, but now I have a job where I finish all my work in an hour, and then I'm like, oh,
Yeah, you know what I do when I finish all my work at work? I work on scripts and I prepare for videos like this.
True.
Anyway, shall we move on to the next scene?
Yeah.
So this next scene is from Digimon Adventure Tri. So if you haven't seen Tri, you may want to skip over this scene. For context, I'm gonna play it and we'll just talk context as it plays.
Yeah. Is this the Japanese or the dub?
I don't know.
Tadaima.
Alright, it's Patamon. Patamon's so adorable.
Patamon is the best. He's just I still say it's a little hamster.
That's fair. He's like a guinea pig for me.
Kind of, yeah.
これ今日時々なるんだ。変でしょ。ねえ、タケル？僕は完成
Look,
してるんだよね。
the innocence in that face.
やっぱり。
This scene did make me cry when I watched it.
I'm about to cry
僕を
now.
連れ出してくれたんでしょ。
I will say I watched it dubbed, and Johnny Young Bosch, my favorite voice actor, he did a really good job with
絶対
it.
に大丈夫だ。
100%.
ねえ、タケル。僕が暴れ出したら、僕をやっつけて。
My fucking heart.
そんなこと言うな。
Like,
僕のせいでみんなが
I am tearing up a little bit.
できるわけないだろ。
Patamon is such an innocent character, and you have to remember, Patamon turns into Angemon.
Yeah.
Patamon is like one of the holy Digimon on the team.
Of the entire digital world.
Yeah, and is this innocent being Digimon, is the partner of what was one of the children, not the young Digidestined, the children Digidestined.
And he was like 6.
Yeah, and it's just watching him so
Patamon went through more than-
innocently say these things that are just so gruesome and messed up.
They're dark and they're like super mature, and like it just shows an understanding of the world. Most people can't even grasp like before they end up dying. Like,
I'm gonna take a moment to not cry from that scene.
I just want to say, like, when you think about it, Patamon's also been through the most out of all the Digimon from that series. From
So
both
true.
Adventure 1 and Adventure 2, Patamon was there from day 1 until the end. Like, there was no break for Patamon. Like,
And yet-
even Gatomon didn't have that much.
The other crazy thing about Patamon is, like, for Patamon, when Patamon finally was able to become the champion, it burned Patamon out to going back to a Digitama. Like, Patamon burned up so much energy just to beat Devamon that he had to revert.
Yeah,
But-
it was. Well, he was like at the time, like Angemon was like the strongest of the group.
Yeah. He was up
I
until
see
we
that
got,
as-
the Ultimates.
Yeah.
And then we got
Like,
the Megas, and then we got Magna-Angemon, who arguably is on par with, War Greymon and Metal Garurumon.
At least he fights as much and is as prevalent as the Megas.
Yeah, being able to conjure a black hole will do that to you.
Yeah.
Oh, but,
Just- like, I don't know, for Patamon, I feel like Patamon, I don't know, it's weird because it's hard to like pin down like why Patamon is 100% like the best of the group, because even though I like Agumon,
I'm a Gomamon
I-
stan. You know that. Gomamon and
Yeah.
Gabumon till I die.
but like objectively speaking, Patamon is the best of the Digigestons Digimon.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it pains me a tiny bit to say that because I'm such a Greymon fan, but
But there's subjective and objective. Like you subjectively, yes, you love your Agumon, just like I subjectively love, Gomamon and Gabumon. But objectively, and I might have those backwards between subjectively and objectively.
no, subjectively is how you feel, and objective is we can all agree on.
Subjectively, loving Agumon, loving Gabumon, loving Gomamon. But objectively, yes, Patamon is the best. Patamon is the strongest. Patamon can hit the hardest. Patamon can turn into a holy archangel, which, that's on par with a lot of God Digimon in the series.
Yeah, and like I said, Patamon was there from day one and didn't stop until that group of that series was over.
Yeah, and that's Digimon Adventure 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So, and then
both
Try,
of them-
actually.
and Try, and the new movie that just came out.
That's still on my list. I got to sit down and watch.
Well, we're gonna have to watch that
Oh,
together.
hell yeah,
'cause,
we're gonna do a watch along. Maybe you know what it is. Maybe we'll do a watch along of Final Evolution, and we'll do a we'll do a whatever this series is of that. Should I just leave it to the Slimelings to decide if we should go with one or the other? I feel like they'd
Yeah.
make a good. All right, I'll post. Remind me once we're done here. I'll post the poll. Anyway.
I do just want to say like one thing. When we watched Last Kizuna, I'm going to cry.
100%. I cried too. I cried watching it the first time. I cried. Literally, the big punch in the heart was spoiled for me via TikTok, and I wanted to swipe away because I saw it for a split second and went, I know what this is. I know what movie this is from. I haven't watched it, but I could not bring myself to swipe off of it and sat there crying for about 5 or 10 minutes.
See, I got spoiled in a different way because my brother had thought I'd already watched the movie, so he started discussing, all the what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. We're not gonna spoil it here. We might, when we do a video about it, we might throw the scene that I'm talking about in here so we can all have a nice healthy cry together.
Yes. If you don't cry to that, I don't know what'll make you cry.
If you don't cry to that, you're probably not a big Digimon person. But I think even not being a Digimon person, you might still cry to it.
It's just the context of it. Like, you don't even need to be a Digimon fan. Like, just what's happening and understanding that.
Yeah. I will say, and this is gonna be the last thing I say on Final Evolution. I think Final Evolution was the greatest, I'm gonna say the greatest goodbye to Digimon Adventure 1 fans that we could ever hope for. There could not be a better, goodbye than that series. And I love that. I love that I got to experience that in my life. And I really hope First Digidestined is a similar thing for fans of Digimon Adventure 2. And who knows, maybe we'll get something for Tamers that does the exact same thing. No,
maybe.
We can't because with how Tamers ends, from what I remember, if I recall, there's like a scene that hints that Takato found Guillaumon again. I'm gonna have to watch it, but yeah.
I mean, we could get if he didn't, we could get a movie about that entirely.
You know what? Actually, no, because we do get a movie that takes place after the final episode.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because there was what was it, Runaway Locomon.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, that takes place later, and we know that takes place later. So yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, so we completely lost talking about talking about that clip from
The
Try,
scene.
which to go back to real quick, just that scene is basically the Digimon are being infected with a virus that makes them very dangerous, and
Makes them go berserk. Basically.
yeah, and watching Patamon do that is yeah. Again, so Digimon Try came out in like the 2015 era. I don't remember specifically when, but just we're talking like within the last 10-ish years.
I think it was closer to 2020, but it was in the tens.
You know what? Now I need to look it up. Let's see. Digimon Adventure Try. So Digimon Adventure Try, Part 1 was released November 2015, Part 2 March 2016, Part 3 September 2016. I want to say that clip was either Part 3 or Part 4, which is February 2017. Part 5 September 2017, and then Part 6, which is the final part, was May of 2018.
I think it was Part 4 that scene came in, because that was shortly before they go back.
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell because of the fact, so Try was released in 2 different formats. It's released in movie format, which is Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. And then I'm pretty sure it was also released in an episodic format where like each of those parts was broken into like 2 or 3 episodes, and that's how I watched it.
Yeah, I think it was like 12 episodes for the anime as opposed to the 6 for the movie or something like that.
Yeah, but God, I love Try so much. But we're gonna go back in time again because we're gonna watch the clip that you chose.
Yeah,
which looking at the opening frame. Fun fact: I was debating talking about this scene, so I'm glad I changed the scene I went for because I was like, I feel like I'm gonna pick the same scene, so I'm gonna go with my second choice, and then I couldn't find my third choice, but I know this scene and I'm excited to have it go. So let's get it playing. Oh, you got the dub too.
I had to really dig for that.
This is the first time we get champions in the series. They're fighting Shellmon.
I forgot that in this scene he actually shouts Digivolve.
they were doing that for like the first couple of times they were shouting Digivolve.
Yeah. And then they just did it.
I think we wound up getting a joke at some point where Digimon are shouting Digivolve and then just not.
Yeah. I think it's when they're all like really, I think it's when they're all really hungry and tired and they try to Digivolve and it doesn't work. But yeah, that scene right there, that really caught me.
All right, we will watch we'll watch this scene a little bit. Yeah, that scene. So that was episode 2 of Digimon Adventure 1, and I so much wanted to watch that one, or choose that one because I like that scene is so different from the 2 scenes I picked. I picked these 2 like heart-wrenching scenes of like loss, and your clip, which so rightfully is a scene of like just about ready to give up because Tai has no idea what to do, and Agumon digivolves, and you go from this oh no to this oh yes kind of thing, which is
it was really the first instance of like the power of friendship coming through and powering up to protect the one you really care about.
Yeah, and it was so well written, and I really do love that scene. And like I said, that was a scene I was debating too, and I'm so happy I did not go with it because we would sit here having a much shorter discussion.
I love this scene for another reason too. It's because this scene was so impactful, and like I don't think we ever truly got another scene that was like a Digivolve scene that was that powerful. Like in another season, in other seasons, like when they first Digivolve in other seasons, we expected it. So it was like it wasn't as strong as
we did, but was impactful for a different reason.
yeah.
I think,
feel like
I think you probably know which one I'm thinking of, but there's one other scene in Adventure 1 that hits that hard without it.
True.
Now I'm curious. Name the Digimon that I'm thinking of. Let's see how truly linked we are.
Let's see. Most powerful. I don't know, because that's a hard
Impactful,
one
not
for me.
powerful.
That's what I meant. Like powerful isn't moving. It's been so long since I
The
watched
hint I
it.
gave is that the scene has a very different tone to it.
Well, I wanted to say Gatomon, but
But that one has the same kind of energy.
yeah.
Let me know if you give up. I'll tell you.
I think I can get it. Probably, maybe.
I believe in you. You got this.
Because the other scene that I think was super impactful, but completely different vibe, was Skull Greymon.
See, that's the one. That's the one. Because like it's I would argue just as impactful as the Shellmon Greymon scene, but it's impactful for a completely different reason. Where the Greymon scene is you go from despair to hope. In the Skull Greymon scene, you go from hope to despair. Because you're like, he's Digivolved. Oh no. Oh,
He's got a nuke on his back and he hates everybody.
And like that's the like it's impactful, but not for the same reason. And it's such a great thing. But yeah, Greymon obviously was the first time we saw them go beyond the rookie stage, because the episode before that we saw them go from in training to rookie to fight off Kawagamon, which technically they failed at doing. That Kawagamon lived until Digimon Try.
Yeah, that's true. But at least they got away.
They got away safely, and thanks to my boy Gomamon with his marching fishes, they were able to be completely safe.
I always forget about marching fishes.
Marching fishes is one of my favorite attacks, because it's not an attack, it's just Gomamon calling in a favor. Gomamon's just like, hey homies, I need some help. Can you bring some fish up here? And they like bet. Isn't there a scene later on in Adventure 2 where they're like, Gomamon, can you use your marching fish's ability to get us food? And he's like, those are my friends! No!
I think there was. I was waiting in Try for something different to happen with it. I was expecting him to summon the fish Digimon.
Oh, fish? Are you talking about Fishmon?
I think it's Fishmon, yeah. I was just expecting him to summon one.
Yeah, it would have been hilarious. But yeah, no, like, Digimon Adventure 1 was great. It's very 90s. I had a friend who decided to sit down and rewatch the series, and I'm planning on doing the same thing. And the first thing they said is, it's so 90s it hurts. And I went, yeah. That's fair.
Although, it aged better than a lot of 90s shows, but it is definitely 90s.
Oh, yeah. But that's because, like, it's 90s, but it's 90s in that nostalgia way. Like, if the tech gets better, we see it in later episodes and later series. It's not like, you know, because, like, in Digimon Adventure Try, they don't have just the old school Digivice anymore. Now they have the new school Digivice, and then, you know, we see the cell phone Digivices they get later on. There's evolution, and it's so good.
Yeah. I do find it funny, though, that they always, like, for the longest time, they just kept the original Digivice. They just had the old school little guy. Even when they were in Adventure Zero 2, they still just had the original Digivice.
I mean,
all the other ones are like super. I had the D3, and it's like it looks cooler, it's more smooth. And then, you know, Tai shows up with his regular thing.
Yeah, but it's also like, you got to think of it like this. With the exception, so again, I never watched Data Squad or Cross Wars, but like in the original Digimon, we almost never see them use the original Digivices for anything actively. They'll every so often have like some MacGuffin ability, but they do almost nothing. Same with the D3 from Digimon Adventure 2, which that doesn't get confusing. It doesn't do all that much. The D terminal was great, but the D terminal was more of an accessory than a Digivice. Tamers, on the other hand, went, not only we're going to give them Digivices, we're going to give them Digivices that allow them to heavily influence the battle by giving their Digimon equipment and such.
Yeah, I think with like the D3s, the only real function they added was the ability to armor Digivolve, because the original Digivices didn't have that.
Yeah, but even those, I'm pretty sure the armor or the Digimentals were stored in the D terminal.
That's true.
So it's like the D3 was just the Digivice again.
Yeah, I think it was really just that the D3 connected to the D terminal. That was it.
Yeah, probably. Again,
It's just like a Wi-Fi
that's not
connection.
insulting the D3 at all. Like I personally love the design of the D3 a
Yeah.
little more.
I mean, the
than
D3
Adventure
looks
1,
great.
which it's just one of those things of like I kind of just there's not as much to them, and I could be wrong. I do plan on doing a lot more looking into Digivices and such, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think the D3 looks better because it looks like it fits in your hand.
Yeah, no, 100%.
The Adventure one, you have to hold it in a weird way.
Like it's one of those things. Like because I remember I've held them before, and like I 100% agree. The D3 just fits better in the hand than the D1, and even the D arc or the D power or whatever you want to call it. That one is not ergonomic to hold at all.
No.
What I'm about to say is gonna hurt me as a person. The most comfortable Digivice I have ever held is the D Frontier. That is the most comfortable Digivice I've ever held, and it is from what is currently my least favorite Digimon series. Will it change when I watch the series? Maybe.
I mean, it'll change if you
manga-
watch Data Squad. If you watch today's Squad, it would change. I can guarantee.
But like, will it change when I watch it? I mean, reading the manga definitely doesn't have my hopes up. I just hope it's better than the manga. We've got a low bar going.
All I can say is if you look at Frontiers as a Kamen Rider show, it's a lot better.
Oh, I have said for years, Frontier is great as not Digimon. But the problem is it's Digimon.
They're straight up just not. I mean, they're just wearing Digimon as like a skin.
Yeah, which is a terrifying sentiment.
It is.
But yeah, I just... Okay, shall we move on to the next clip?
Yes.
Which you have just elegantly titled in a way that makes me excited.
Yeah.
Let's...
Agumon! Agumon, wake up!
This actually made me sad because seeing Agumon get beat up.
I mean, I could totally...
This was episode 1 too, so we saw Agumon get beat up immediately.
silent.
Wait, this is episode 1?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. You know what? I respect it.
Agumon.
I
Because
already respect this.
he didn't know how to make Agumon Digivolve, so Agumon was fighting as a rookie against Kakatoriamon. Alone at that.
Can I just say real quick, I love that Kakatoriamon is like so central to Digimon Liberators.
Yeah.
Go read Digimon
Kakatoriamon.
Liberators, everyone. It's so good. After this video, though, don't click away yet.
We'll talk about that at some point too.
Oh, 100%. I am so excited to sit here and hyper-focus talk about Yao. And I guess the rest of Liberators.
This is the scene that made me go, what the heck is going on? And I did title that the punch that shattered 1,000 Digimon, because that was the first punch.
I would like to point out, I love the fact that you end it with just him punching Kakatoriamon. It's not like he punches Kakatoriamon and we get the Digivolution or anything. He punches him, we see the data swirling around his hand, end scene. Nothing else matters. All that matters, Marcus Damon. I'm thinking the actor Matt Damon. Speaking of Marcus Damon, so you had shared a theory with me, and I shared it on stream, and I credited you when I was talking. I was like, this is something my buddy Van brought up to me. Do you want to tell the people about your theory that I am just so in love with?
Yeah, well, if you look at Marcus Damon's name, his name is Marcus Damon, meaning it ends with Mon. And his dad is a Leomon. So Marcus Damon is just a mega level Digimon.
It's so true, and I love it. And for those, again, like I think I talked about it in one of my series, or it's in one of my scripts. I don't know anymore. Who knows by the time this gets uploaded actually. But like Mon is like the file extension. They're digital monsters. They're files. So like their file extension .mon. That's why you have Agumon, Patamon, Angemon, Angelumon, and you have these names that are very shorthand sometimes. But like, yeah, that theory where Marcus Damon is a Digimon is just, it's wonderful. It
Oh, I have to
really
show.
is.
I have to put this in here too.
Oh, okay. Hit me with it.
This is from Cross Wars. We have to watch
Oh
this.
god,
one.
this one.
It's related. It's
Okay.
related.
It is 100% related. Hold on.
I just thought about it while we were talking about how ridiculous Marcus. And this is why I say that Marcus is a mega when we see that scene.
All right.
This is why.
God, look at all those Venom Myotismon, and Marcus Damon is just like, I got a right
So
hook.
just go down. Just
I
go
got
down.
a right hook. Who cares?
And he doesn't even need Shine Greymon at all.
Those are ultra level. Those aren't even Venom Myotismon. Those are I think it's like Ball Venom Myotismon or something. Like,
yeah, something like that.
Like they are 3 steps ahead of a fucking Myotismon, and he just punched 3 or 4. This is the clip that should have had that previous name. This is the clip.
Yeah, I named the first clip that because that's the first punch he ever does that leads into him punching another 1,000 Digimon.
It's one of those things, like, I am both excited and terrified to watch Data Squad and Cross Wars because of the fact that I'm so terrified to watch Marcus Damon just punch his way through the digital world. Like, that's what we're... Because there's so many shows where people make the joke of, oh yeah, there's always that one character that just thinks punching is the way to get through the series. And we have Marcus fucking Damon, who is that exact character, but it's right. It's not even a lie.
100%. We've talked about this, and I would end up just being Marcus Damon.
It's so true. So I know I shared with you. I don't know if you had a chance to read through. So for those in the know on the Discord and in Blue Sky, I am working on a Digimon tabletop game. And I'm just finalizing numbers on Digimon, but I have a whole play document, and I make a lot of references to Van and I in it. And there's a part where I'm talking about role playing between yourself and your Digimon, and how you don't always have to have, you know, these long explained conversations. And I'm trying to find it now, but oh, excuse me. But like literally, there's a part where I'm just like, if you know, let's say you go up to talk to Van, and he's currently discussing things with his Agumon. You know, you don't have to go through the entire spiel of the conversation. You can just note, like, as you walk over, Van and Agumon are currently discussing Van's ability to just punch his way through a combat. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
I would be the one Digidestined that would just fight alongside the other Digimon.
Oh, here we go. For example, if Alyss walks up to Van while he speaks with Agumon, while Van may want to have the conversation, it can always be summed up as, you walk up to Van and Agumon in a heated discussion about the effectiveness of punching a Devamon. It's so real. It's so real. I'm pretty sure that's an exact example you've given me, too, of just you would punch a Devamon just to see what happens.
I think it was literally like 2 weeks ago we were talking about it, and I was like, I think I would just punch Devamon in the face.
You'd be amazed how many of the little notes and examples of like interactions are literally just Van and I discussing stuff in our private messages. And I'm like, you know what? This is a perfect example for this in the book. So eventually I will release that just for anyone to use who wants to. I don't care. It's going to be a free thing. I'm not looking to make any money, so Bandai, do not come after me.
In fact, Bandai, you should hire.
Please, do you know how much I would kill to be able to like release a Digimon tabletop by myself.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hey, Bondi, come on.
Like, I would kill for that.
I'll jump in as a playtester.
I know you would. Oh, you know what? I'm adding another scene because, as we know, I add all the sad scenes because that's what I do. Apparently, is I'm the sad one. Which
I do want to say,
tracks.
with Cross Wars, you don't have to worry about Marcus very much. He shows up for like 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, because they do a special event where all the old like lead tamers show up.
And the weird thing is, they all know each other.
Yeah, because why not? You know. I feel like that episode solely existed to just be like, look, here's why we can go into Digimon and like different characters do not know do not know about each other, or why it's why don't people know about Digimon? There was I swear Cross Wars was solely just so people stop talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that episode, like 100%, even Takato knew everybody. They were just like, hey, what's up, guys?
Which really kind of defeats the purpose of, like, there are multiple worlds. Nobody, there's a reason that, like, in one world, Digimon are just cards and not actual things until you go to the digital. Like kind of defeats the whole purpose. But I will save that for when I'm rewatching, well, actually technically watching for the first time Cross Wars. So, yeah.
I've watched Cross Wars, so if you need anybody to talk to about it.
Oh, I'm sure you will be hearing my ranting and raving. There's also, I know another series you had mentioned you were not able to get through that I'm going to be watching. And that is the Apley Monsters series.
Oh, yeah, the Apley Monsters.
I plan to sit down and watch that one. I'm going to watch all Digimon media I can get my hands on.
I probably wound up watching it too, but I got through like 3 episodes and I was like, this is the worst.
Yeah, I'm told that is a commonly held opinion, but unfortunately, I apparently just I can't tell if it's that I hate myself or I just want to give the community some fun stuff to watch. But let's watch this next scene so that we can just both cry a little bit more, because quite frankly, I feel like we've been too happy.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I don't know.
I love Guillemon's
I feel
voice.
strange.
I did too. He's so derpy.
Terriermon! Cyberdramon!
Rio.
Oh, Rio.
Oh yeah, Rio, because he came from a different series too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a whole chat about Rio someday.
Rio's in like every Digimon world, canonically.
Dad, help us!
Mr. Wong, why are Guillemon and the others de-digivolving? De-digivolving?
Dad, tell us! What's going on?
Henry, the whole world.
I forgot his name was Henry.
And there was only one way out. We had to take
The only
it.
reason I didn't
Even
forget
if it
that
meant losing the
is
Digimon.
that's
What do
the
you mean
tamer I use in
lose?
my
Where are they
Terriermon deck.
going?
They have to return to the digital plane.
I just think
or
it's funny. You
they'll
got
disappear
Takato
forever,
and
like a
Rika, and then you
demon.
got Henry,
They were never meant for this world.
It's Henry Wong.
But Guillemon's meant to be with me.
Which
a
means he's
part of me.
Chinese.
I promised him we'd always be together, I promise.
It's just funny.
This can't be.
You got most of the cast that actually fits in Japan, then you got Henry Wong.
You knew this would happen
The
when you
exchange
scanned
student.
Terriermon.
Oh, we also
I had
have
no other
Jerry.
choice. The
That's
fate
true,
of the
Jerry.
world
Well,
was at stake.
Jerry's
I couldn't let
Jeri,
everything and everyone we loved
which
be
is
destroyed,
technically a
Henry.
Japanese name. I just have no idea
Yeah,
what
but
it means.
Henry's Chinese. He's not even
Yeah.
Japanese.
Oh, Terriermon.
I know. He's probably Japanese American since his name
The
is Henry.
final moment.
Chinese
Hey,
American.
you can fuck this, can't you?
I forgot Renamon had such a
I know
cute
we'll see each
intro.
other again one day.
I think
Renamon, please, I love you.
no.
Because there's not
it was-
any
it was,
games.
We'll play again soon, won't we?
Which well, Adventure 2 was when they started making
Yeah.
the in-trainings that were so specific to the rookies.
Cyberdramon, I love you, man! Marine Angemon! Bye, Cyberdramon!
I love that Marine Angemon didn't de-digivolve. Did you notice that?
I did. Do you think the animators just thought Marine Angemon was already a rookie?
I think most of us did as kids too. But I never noticed that Marine Angemon just never de-digivolved.
Yeah, Marine Angemon was just like, I'm a mega always.
Henry,
I forgot about those kids who had Empmon.
I know it hurts
I forget
now,
about them
son,
too,
but
but I
in
have them in
time,
my-
it'll
in my
get
Imp
better.
deck,
You'll
so.
see.
Jerry's Digimon wasn't even here.
Henry,
This
I'm sorry.
this was the first.
I'm so sorry.
You know, think about it, this was the first like cartoon I watched
I promise, Guilmon,
that didn't
Just
have a
you
happy
wait.
ending.
we'll be together again.
It had
soon.
a bittersweet ending.
Like
Because
they
they solved
saved
the problem.
world, but we lost.
they also lost, yeah. They lost all their friends. It was bittersweet because they saved the world, but it cost them.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that there is a scene after this where Takato finds Guilmon in the place he was hiding him the entire time. But like it was such a heart-wrenching moment to watch this. Cuz again, like Digimon Adventure 1 kind of ended with they still have their Digimon. Digimon Adventure 2 ended with, "Oh, look, they're adults. They've got their own kids and their kids have Digimon." And then we get Tamers, where oh no, so actually no, Adventure 1, it's not that they still have them, but
They still have access to them.
yeah, because like they still can go back, like they can still get in touch with the digital world via Gen I. But Tamers,
Well, they can also go back to the digital world.
yeah, they do confirm, yeah, because they do that starting in Digimon Adventure 2 as well. But like Tamers, just that ends and like it. They're just like, yeah, you're losing. And then we get the Locomon movie, and it's like, all right, so they do come back, okay. But like as a kid when that happened, we didn't know. And the Locomon movie, let's see.
I think Tamers hits even harder when you think about it, because Guilmon was created by Takato. Like Guilmon didn't exist.
Yeah,
So it's basically his child.
yeah, that's all Guilmon knew really was Takato. So let's see. The release date of Runaway Locomon was March 2002. Final episode of Digimon Tamers release date. Because I want to make sure I have these right. So, okay, no. So we had 29 days before Tamers. Because we got Tamers until March 31st of 2002. And then Runaway Locomon was March 2nd, 2002. But this Runaway Locomon was never released in America, apparently.
I mean, that happened a lot with Digimon movies.
But like, imagine, like, it never hit me that we've never released, like, this was never released in America. This was only ever released in Japan. Like, literally just as language Japanese. I feel like I've watched an English dub of this, though.
I don't know. I do know that they finally re-released the parts of the original movie we were missing.
Let's see. Movies got dubbed later on, never had their English versions released on DVD or Blu-ray.
Which means it probably was on TV.
Huh? It looks like it's over downtown.
I just
Do you know what
I just found a version, and it got picked up by the video because I have the browser getting captured. But
Do you know what I didn't realize until I looked it up
Witness.
just now?
What?
Guilmon's voice actor is Stephen Bloom.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I did not realize that because it's so different than the voices he usually does. Because like Stephen Bloom, 9 times out of 10, you can tell it's him, and then he does roles like Guilmon, where you're like, wait, that was him.
I'm saving the video because I really want to watch this at some point.
Do you know what's really funny?
What?
I'm on the
fact that it got
Guilmon page.
picked up on the video again.
No, I'm looking at the Guilmon thing where I just found out that Stephen Bloom was the voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting an ad for Stephen Bloom's voice acting classes.
I mean, that makes sense.
I actually signed up for one and I didn't make it because I had class that day.
I always feel bad trying to sign up for those because those cost money. But anyway, so yeah, those are just to kind of pull up the discussion back to what it was. So those are kind of the scenes that have meant so much to us through Digimon. These are just a couple of them. Digimon is peppered with these beautiful, like there's this beautiful
They've
thing
got
Digimon
really good
does
writing.
where, yeah, like they got great writing. Like there's, you are not lacking in scenes that are going to mean something to you. Everyone's going to find scenes that they can latch onto. It might be an earlier series, it might be a later series. You know, it might even be something tiny. You know, maybe you latch on to, you know, when Mimi realizes like why she has the crest of sincerity. Maybe you'll latch on to when Sora realizes why she has the crest of love, and like, you know, maybe you'll latch on to one of the very scenes where Guillemon is eating bread because you just love bread and you too are a little gremlin. I don't know, but
Maybe
there's just so
maybe you'll cry. Maybe you'll be the one person who cries every time Leomon dies.
at that point you will be known as Jerry.
Yeah.
That's anyway. Yeah. So that has been our first episode of insert working title here. That'll be down in the description. Again, make sure to follow Van. You can find him over at where on the internet can people find you most effectively?
You can find me probably at I think it's Blue Sky at Ventura V or twitch.tv/Ventura.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So go make sure you follow Van on those areas. You know, if you enjoyed this, let us know. Drop some comments down below. Give us a like. You know, subscribe if you're new here. And, you know, hey, maybe if the series keeps going, maybe we can every so often bring in some new people. I know at least one person that I know would love to join in and discuss it with us. I don't know if you remember, her name's Mizu from hanging out last night. I don't know how much of stream last night you were around for, but you know, there are people I think would be cool to bring on and get their opinions on some topics as well. But yeah, that's been the first episode of this, and I hope everybody has enjoyed. Make sure to check out Van and follow him everywhere, except home. That's just creepy.
Yeah. If you followed me home, something's gonna happen.
There's a reason I script these outros. You know, I'm not good at them. All right, everybody, have a wonderful whatever time of day it is. Goodbye.
Bye. See you next time.